DayZ is the greatest game of all time, period. There is nothing like it. Uh, there'll never be, I don't think. I don't think that something will be better than DayZ. I just don't. This is my opinion. I'm sticking to it. How's everybody doing? This is Bonehead DayZ. Now, before you freak out and you think this is some sort of interrogation video or I'm pleading for my life, no, I'm just protecting my identity, just kind of for fun, not really any particular reason. I have a identical twin who is kind of in the YouTube world also, so we're going to kind of separate those two and just keep bonehead. If you already know, well, you probably know. So anyway, let's get into it. Why are we here today? Why are we not watching a PvP edit or a DayZ official long form Bonehead Gang Livonia adventure? We are talking about how I record my videos, edit them, publish them to YouTube, and all of this stuff in between. And a lot of people have asked that I do this, and I also think this is something that's missing in the DayZ community, especially when it comes to console, and even more specifically when it comes to the language and the way we communicate what it is that we're doing. So let's start from the beginning, and that is I highly recommend, if you're going to be recording videos from DayZ, that you have at least the PlayStation 5. And the only reason I say this is that PlayStation 4 only allows you to record 720, which is not even HD, and it's not 60 frames a second. I believe it's 30, maybe, if that. So you're just not getting great quality, and that will affect your viewership and people spending time watching your videos, because all YouTube cares about is minutes watched. How long are people staying on your video? So PlayStation 5 would be great, or I don't know what I can't really speak to Xbox or PC or any of that. We're talking about PlayStation. So PlayStation 5, I like to record everything in 4K, and that requires me to capture everything in WebM, which is a compressed format. It allows the PlayStation to, save an hour's worth at least of footage and not take up too much space on your PlayStation. So I record everything in 4K. How do I determine what I record? It depends. Sometimes when I start playing, I will just hit record and just let it go. Other times I will do what a lot of us do and hit record to capture something that had previously happened 30 minutes or 60 minutes prior, and then I will have it. And then what do I do from there? Well, you need an external hard drive. I use SSDs. My real job, my in real life job, is a cinematographer. I'm an editor, and so a lot of these things come very naturally to me, and that's why I would like to explain this to the people who don't do this for a living and maybe want to get into it. So you need some sort of external drive. I recommend an SSD. Forget about those old spindle drives, they're terrible. So you plug that into your PlayStation and copy and drop those files to that hard drive. Then you're going to come to your computer. For me, I work on a Mac computer. I'm working on a brand new Studio Max whatever computer. I do a lot of high-end video editing, so I need the power. And when it comes to DayZ videos, you really don't need that much power, because the files aren't really big. You're dealing with compressed footage. You're probably not doing intensive color grading or anything like that, so you really don't need a powerful computer. You just need something that can handle a little bit of editing. So then I come back to the computer, and the next step is uncompressing or kind of decoding that WebM format, and I use Handbrake. Handbrake is a free software program, and I'm showing all these things to you right now on the screen, how each step-by-step instruction, but we use Handbrake, and I usually just render it out in a MP4 format, and that gets it out to 1080, usually maybe a little bit higher of a resolution, but it's usually 1080, which is plenty good enough for YouTube and for a DayZ video. And when you're taking that 4K capture and you are uncompressing it but into a 1080 file, you're gonna get a crispier image usually. So some of you have said, how do you capture this quality content? That's one step. Okay, now the next step is I have my footage, I'm ready to bring it into my editor. I edit either on DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro. I recommend DaVinci Resolve because you can get a free version and it's more than enough to edit DayZ videos on. I know there's other options, Canva, and there's some other ones out there that are free, but Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, those are my go-to. And I bring the footage into Final Cut Pro, and from there I like to figure out what type of video it's going to be. Am I talking about official content, community, PvP, random YouTube shorts, whatever it is, and then I start to line up that footage and figure out what the story is going to be, and then I like to go find music. Sometimes I do use copyrighted music, which I don't care because I'm not monetizing this channel. Everything will go off of donations or super chats or however you want to support this channel by subscribing and liking and commenting. So I'm not really worried about using copyrighted music. Sometimes it's fun anyways, and I think I enjoy it, and I assume that you do as well. But I use audio for any licensed music, AUDIIO, audio, and it's very affordable. They have a great selection of music, so you can get music off of that. I go on YouTube like many of us and download different sound effects or just memes and GIFs and things that pertain to whatever situation that we're in that makes you have a chuckle. Okay, let's get to the big one in the room, and that is my intro, that I think is something that stands separate from other content creators when it comes to DayZ in general. And when I started to re-upload, when I got my PlayStation 5 and I wanted to take it more seriously, I decided to do a more intense intro. And at the time, this is few months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I had done a deep dive into AI generated art, generated videos, and all of that. So if you've heard of Midjourney, I use Midjourney. That's through Discord. So it's a monthly subscription and you have access to generate AI images that you give prompts and imagine whatever it is that you want. So I will use Midjourney to generate DayZ type of images that I want. And then I take those images and I go into another program called Runway AI. I think it's just Runway AI. And Runway will take that image and make it into a 4 to 8 second video clip, or longer, depending if you want to pay more. And that is pretty much how those clips were made, is just images that AI generated into videos. And, I just played around with that. The titles and effects, different plugins, various things that I already have or use from Motion Array or Motion VFX. There's other free plugins out there. There's a bunch that you could look into. It just kind of takes time to weed through a lot of the cringy garbage stuff. But yeah, so that's that. Then when we're all done and the video is ready to go, I will export it out in 1080, 60 frames a second in H.264. There's really no need. I've played around with ProRes and seeing if I can up the the render quality, but it doesn't really make a difference when it comes to DayZ content because you're looking at something that is already, I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't matter. I render it out that way, and then I go on YouTube, I get my thumbnail ready, and I publish that said video. I don't think too much about it. I try to get stuff out consistently because otherwise it piles up. If we're just playing DayZ, those clips are going to pile up pretty quickly. And with the different variations of content, whether it's official or conquest or blackout or just PvP, there's always something that can be pushed out for you to see. And that's it. I mean, that is what I do to upload those videos and record them and push them out into the YouTube community. I want to end talking about the channel and just the growth that I have seen and why that's happening. Maybe sometimes it's just there's no answer for it, but when I've said this now multiple times just in this video, but when I bought my PlayStation 5, I wanted to take it a little more seriously, uploading content and seeing what could happen, where the channel could go. And I thought, and maybe I'm a little bit right, I don't want to be, I want to stay humble, but there's a lot of console creators, even PlayStation. There's a bunch, probably the most prominent, and I'm going to butcher the name, was it Drang's? Great content, very high quality. I believe he's recording that separate through a capture card, and it's incredible content regardless of your opinion on his gameplay or if it's scripted. I don't care, okay? It's entertaining, and he's a good personality to follow. But unfortunately, in my opinion, there are quite a few console creators that are just, they lean to the toxic side. And what I mean by that is a little bit in their play. They use cheats or glitches, they dupe, or just the conversations and language that they're using, whether it's in their streams or in their videos, really doesn't align with with me or with hopefully the gameplay and community that I want to build around. And so I do think that has separated me from some of those other creators. And there's some other incredible ones. Receding Man, who plays on Xbox, I believe, love him. He's just a positive light in the DayZ community, Zesty Polvo, and there's a bunch of others. But on PlayStation, it's few and far between, and you see a lot of videos without thumbnails or correct titles, or all of that matters, and consistency matters. So be positive, be yourself, play the game the right way, and you will see, this channel was at literally like 100 and something subscribers, and when I started to upload consistently back in late September-ish or October, whenever it was, the subscribers started rolling in. And just in 2024, from January 1st to when we're recording this video, I think we've gained over 110, 115 subscribers or something. I'll put it up on the screen here. That's incredible. And that's just you guys enjoying my content, and hopefully this thing builds even more with the Discord and with just connecting with more players and trying to find more players in DayZ that want to play the game traditionally, whether that's role-playing or just playing the game and enjoying it and not worrying about the dupers and the glitch and the cheaters and just the toxicity. We can eliminate all that by just creating our own community and just playing the game and playing it for what it is. And I know there's been a huge influx of players to DayZ, especially console, which is incredible. We just have to make sure we foster those relationships, and hopefully they don't turn into Call of Duty players or Fortnite players, because DayZ is a slower game, and when you turn it into a fast-paced game, it takes away from the immersion, it takes away from what DayZ was meant to be all the way back when it was just a mod off of ARMA. So thank you to Bohemia, the developers, because honestly, I have been around for almost 37 years, and DayZ is the greatest game of all time, period. There is nothing like it. There'll never be, I don't think. I don't think that something will be better than DayZ. I just don't. It's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, that's really it. If I didn't answer any questions that you had, drop them down below. If you're not subscribed, consider it, or don't. Hit the like button or don't. Leave some hate or don't. All love. And yeah, happy surviving. And yeah. More to come. More to come. Yeah. Okay. Bye.